Good evening and welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Jenna Flanagan. Every night, about 60,000 New Yorkers go to sleep in city homeless shelters, and more than one-third of them are children. Domestic violence, the leading cause of homelessness in New York City. So what is the city doing to support survivors, and what services are they offering in the shelters to stop the cycle of abuse? The City Comptroller's Office has released a report highlighting the issue and providing a comprehensive roadmap to combat this crisis. Here with the details is Comptroller Scott Stringer. Welcome to the program, or welcome back, I should say.
Well, it's great to be back, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, this is a very concerning report that your office put together. And so I just want to talk about the numbers so that people get a sense of it, because homelessness is very much an issue that I think all of us, we see the homeless all the time. The numbers seem to be rising, but we're not necessarily realizing that there's families behind this. Tell me about that.
Well, the report and the analysis we released shows the driving force between the increase in people who are homeless are actually people who are domestic violence survivors. Mm-hmm. They're being driven into the shelter system along with their children at an alarming rate. We showcase that statistically, we see an increase over the last 5 years of domestic violence survivors. 45% are now being put into the homeless shelters, and basically 41% of survivors make up the shelter system. Yes, there are domestic violence beds, but survivors can only stay in the domestic violence shelter system for just 180 days. After that, there's two choices. Families either go to another shelter, mm-hmm. or they can get a voucher for an affordable housing apartment. But the affordable housing apartment,
I was going to say that's a whole nother web
It's just not accessible to mm-hmm. the people in the shelter, so they get driven into the larger homeless shelter system. Mm-hmm. So we are basically shuttling the most vulnerable people in the city from one shelter to the other shelter, and this is not sustainable. I also did an analysis over a year ago that showed, it's not just the people who are in shelter today. We've identified 500,000 people who are one step away from the shelter system. So this is a crisis that's going to impact the entire city. The other thing that we always say, or I always say, is that 6 years ago, we were spending $1.4 billion a year managing the shelter system. Today, we're spending $3.2 billion 6 years later. And you know what? Nothing's working. The shelter system is growing, and that's something that we have to recognize.
Of course, I do also want to focus a little bit on the children, because when you have school-age children particularly, and they're moving from shelter to shelter, from home to home, one of the other things that that happens to them is that they're also moving from school to school to school. Do we get a chance to get any understanding of that impact? Because, of course, constantly moving around can't be good for school-age children.
Well, we identify the fact that 7,000 children under the age of 6 are in this shelter system. 7,000 babies mm-hmm. are growing up in the shelter system. Families are now jamming commercial hotels, and that is unacceptable in the most economically powerful city in America. And that is something that breaks your heart. And look, as a dad who has a 7.5-year-old and 6-year-old, so I know every day just how vulnerable children are in the best of circumstances. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine how it must be for these wonderful children with such great potential who, through no fault of their own, are in a system and in facilities that are totally inadequate for these kids. So I want to smash this bureaucracy. I want to align the affordable housing that we need with the homeless shelter bureaucracy. People don't realize that 30% of folks in the system have a job. Yes, they come home after a day's work and go to the shelter. They're cooks, they're taxi cab drivers. Actually, some of these people, the folks who are in the system, they actually are child care workers. They take care of kids, they take care of adults, they take care of grandparents, and yet they're stuck in the system. Why? Because they don't make enough money, and they can't get the housing that they need.
We've already passed legislation to raise minimum wage. We have been debating over affordable housing in this city for what's starting to feel like forever, with very little progress, it feels like, being made, where, deals that are made for new developers to come in, maybe they'll do some affordable housing, and then maybe it does or does not end up being market rate. How does this get addressed?
Well, let's talk about what you just said very well. So we negotiate for affordable housing. So what does that mean? So a developer gets land and density to build luxury apartments in exchange for saying that they're going to build 30% affordable. In a lot of these communities, a lot of our communities, the affordable housing that they're building is actually unaffordable for the people in the community. So why is that happening? We have to lower the AMI. We have to build housing to meet the need of the poorest people in our city so that we do have alternatives to the shelter system. I believe that people would rather build low-income housing for people who are homeless or in the shelter system, children, than having to expand a shelter system that is expensive and dangerous. Why are we creating commercial hotels that are so inadequate, and yet we're paying to house people in these hotels some $3,000 a month? These are Waldorf Astoria prices. Why don't we just change the bureaucracy? We've got to tackle this problem in this day and age, in this era of New York City, to walk through the neighborhoods in all 5 boroughs and see people outside churches and synagogues with blankets and candles shivering in the night. We need to align the services for homelessness and call on accountability for the way the shelter system is managed. And I think there's a lot we have to do here.
Well, we're running out of time, but first of all, I think that the biggest word that you just said was accountability. And I think that's the problem that so many people have with government and with people in politics, is how do you hold them accountable? Because we hear these great promises on the campaign trail, but then once people are in office, this vote fails, this doesn't go through, we had to change it, we compromised, et cetera. And that's where people lose faith and get frustrated.
Well, here's what I want to do. I think you're absolutely right. There's a new trend in campaign promises. You put forth a proposal and you say, by the year 2030 or 2050, we're going to solve the problem. And that becomes the mantra. We have a 40-year plan to make the city resilient, or to make the city affordable, or to create a transportation infrastructure. Well, that's great. But most of the people who make these promises are not going to be here by 2050, literally and politically. Yes. I hate to disappoint people, yes, but longevity is very, is limited. It's not limitless. So we need to hold our elected officials to what they're doing while they're in office. I'd like to hear what a 2-year plan is, or what a 1-year plan is, and move forward to measure that.
Well, I think that's what a report like this will definitely help give people a roadmap for. So, of course, thank you, Comptroller Scott Stringer, and we look forward to having you on the program again.
Thank you.